are doing another round of the Eternal Community Tournament. That means that we have Dectilon versus BeardBroken. Oh, I didn't actually add in their deck lists. So, as I was saying, we have BeardBroken versus Dectilon to start. Dectilon is playing a deck that they call Tourney Trash Supreme. So, just to give you a little bit of an idea of what that will look like, you're basically looking at a Time Primal Shadow deck. It's a lot of value cards. Bunch of good removal, obviously. Being able to have Display of Knowledge and Feeding Time and things like that is really good. Get some Vara Vengeance Seeker. Some very, very cool cards. Hey, Play Dungeon Man's good to see you. We're just setting up for our Eternal Tournament. The other one that we have is Unethical Operations by BeardBroken. And BeardBroken is going to be playing a Fire, Time, Shadow, Sacrifice deck. So kind of typical of what we've been seeing a lot on the ladder recently, but obviously much pared down to just accommodate not being able to play a lot of rares. A little bit of a market in this one too. So you've got Strange Burglars trying to carve it, Dova, the Fearmonger, stuff like that. And we're going to jump on into these games right now. I'll let them... Alright. For what it's worth, I'm still listed as playing Dandy Ace. That is very strange. I shouldn't be. And thank you very much, Dungeon Man. Yeah, sorry. I normally do roguelikes. I'm not doing it right now. This is... Yeah, currently, we are doing Eternal. I don't know why it's not updating properly. It's just Twitch's side. My last stream was something called Dandy Ace, which was a roguelike, which was a lot of fun. But unfortunately, I'm not doing it right now. I'm going to be doing some more roguelikes tonight after I do a little bit of this tournament. So I'm going to have a bit of a break. I'm sorry about that, Dungeon Mans. Yeah, but not playing a roguelike. All right, but we're going to jump in with Dectilon here. And see if I can observe. There we go. No, we have a community tournament in this card game all the time, so we're going to be doing that right now. We have Dectilon versus BeardBroken. I have the viewing bug, so we just got to take a moment. Every once in a while I've had this. Normally it takes just one reset. Apparently this one's taking more than one. But after they make a couple of plays, it should definitely not be there. Alright, perfect. So we had Cabal Repeater come down and then get rectified immediately by BeardBroken, so it's silence. Dectilon stealing it away and then just smashing through. I'm surprised BeardBroken didn't chump block, because we know that Dectilon's not going to be able to play another card. Ah, and there we go! Well, I'm perfectly answered. Really good play by BeardBroken. I was wondering, I was like, I couldn't figure out why they decided to take the 3 damage. But they needed it to make the Nahid's Distillation cheaper, so that makes perfect sense. I was a little confused there for a moment. Speaking of a little confused, Dectilon opts to go for another Primal instead of going for another Time for Grodov's Burden. Maybe a misclick, or maybe they're thinking of like a specific card that they want to hit in their deck. You can look at the deck lists. I'm thinking maybe trying to draw like a Wisdom of the Elders. You're thinking they can draw something like that? That's really the only double Primal that they need. So I'm interested as to why that was the decision. I don't know if Dectilon managed to scout somehow. They're not playing any crests. Yeah, so I think that was just a mistake. And we'll see what happens here. Oh, the bot's broken. Well, I've got... There you are. Man, just for you.
Trust in our sacrifice.
And BeardBroken decides to make a bunch of units instead. Okay, and then combust one of them. Opting not to just shoot it and use 2 cards instead so that they have a little bit of a board. They might have some sacrifice effects in hand. Like I said, that we know BeardBroken has things like Devour. So it's likely they have like a Devour that they want to use off of it, or maybe another Nahid's Distillation they're trying to make cheap. There we go. Lot of rectifiers from Dectilon here. Lots and lots of silence. An attack from BeardBroken. That's really interesting. And Dectilon blocks, and here comes Tripwire Grenadin. Both players have access to each other's lists. So Dectilon kind of getting got by that. Great draw here for Dectilon, though. Deciding to go for that Primal is rewarding because they got the Wisdom of the Elders that we were talking about. And that's perfect. Like, they want more gas here. That's one of the #1 things they can get. Oh, and BeardBroken's just opting for the beatdown. They've got to have Devour in hand? Or Kindling Carver, okay. And sacrifice away that Rectifier. Do they have another sacrifice effect for the second one? Because that would be incredible. Being able to get to use the Shade would be fantastic here. Does BeardBroken have it? Are they thinking of playing around something? No, okay. Oh, BeardBroken's market is scary, by the way. They've got Boar, which isn't super relevant here, but then they also have Worthy Cause, very good removal, and a ton of life. Shrine to Carve It, which when you consider that they've got Kindling Carver, is going to be an incredible amount of damage. Strange Burglar, and Dova the Fearmonger. Silencing the Kindling Carver here, though. I'm wondering if BeardBroken did get the Shrine, which honestly that seemed like the best move, and now they're kind of punished for it because they won't have a way to sacrifice. I guess we'll have to see what BeardBroken plays. They're pausing for a moment, so I'm thinking that they did exactly what I would have done, which is get the Shrine, and having that Carver silenced is a big deal then. All that being said, though, even if BeardBroken just has Shrine to Carve It, they just get to attack here. They get to attack past the Rectifier. Sure, like, they trade here, but you're taking another 6 damage. You're going down to 14. 5-6 damage a turn only gives Dectilon 4 turns to come back from this game, and they're stuck on power. They need a turn to utilize this Wisdom of the Elders, get to some more power cards. Uh-oh. Here comes a Devour. So BeardBroken didn't get the Shrine? They can play the Shrine afterwards and still get the effect. Shrine's a static thing that just says, if you've sacrificed. Okay, yeah, there we are. And the Madness. Wow! BeardBroken just sitting back and doing the math to make sure they have exactly enough damage. And they do. 20 damage in a swing. And that's the power of Shrine to Carve It. Just destroying Dectilon in game 1. And that's the way that Shrine to Carve It works. It's a hell of a card. We're going to be watching from the other side this time. We're going to be watching BeardBroken's play. And see if Dectilon can come back. BeardBroken on a much worse hand this time. Let BeardBroken know as well. Shrine is just such an incredibly scary card. If people don't have enough relic removal, we could definitely see Shrine go all the way. Shrine, in my opinion, has really been kept out of the actual ladder format right now. Like, where, just because of the simple fact that there's so many things like Sabretooth running around, just kind of keeping it in check. There's just a lot of incidental relic removal. And the relic removal here has to be a little more purposeful. BeardBroken is one of the few people that I've seen that actually has it with the boar.
Send a message.
Dectilon starting off with a nice Rip Knife Assassin. BeardBroken's hand, though, is absolutely terrifying. Having Madness Carver, Madness, is so gross. I really like BeardBroken's play here, too, by the way. Just not actually putting anything onto the board. Waiting until on turn 4 here, they can play Carver, Madness, and then sacrifice immediately and not get punished. Like, not have that Carver die to something. One downside is, of course, that whatever they draw, they're just going to have to discard, but I've got to imagine that's well worth the price. And then here comes the Carver. Or, yeah, just playing the Heat's Faithful. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't think of that. And Dectilon has the Defile. BeardBroken being better than I am, protecting their Kindling Carver. Now they can actually play a power card next turn if they get it off of the draw from the Madness. So they shouldn't play this first. They should just play Kindling Carver Madness. And again, the same thing kind of as before. You'll go Madness, and then play Kindling Carver. And that'll actually protect the Carver so that there can't be like a in-response removal. Not that it really matters right now with Dectilon on 1. BeardBroken deciding. Maybe thinking if they want to go with Kindling Carver, Fire Sigil, and then use the Nahid's Distillation. Waystone is on, but when you're observing, I don't believe that it works as well. Waystone should be on. Yeah, and exactly doing the play that we were expecting. Getting a power card. I like that, being able to play it. They're able to play a hard cast Nahid's Distillation now, so even if this just dies, which it does... Still set really well. And BeardBroken finding the market again. Shrine to Carve It, Strange Burglar, Dova. These are all very relevant. Whenever you sacrifice a unit, draw a card is huge. I feel like this is a tough one. Probably Strange Burglar is what I would go for. And they're setting up for an absurd Aramot's Machinations.
I'll move anything for a price.
You can take a quick market look and then it'll pick it up. Oh, okay. There we go then. And there's the Defile. That almost plays in... Oh no, Defile steals it. Right, I was going to say that almost plays into BeardBroken's hands because then they can Aramot's Machinations back. But Defile stealing it is super relevant here. Stopping that Machinations is nice. Here comes the Dova, though, and Dectilon... I can imagine them being out of removal. Dectilon does have quite a bit. Dectilon inside of their deck, besides those Defiles, they have 4 of those. They also have Avara's Favor, 4 Display of Knowledge, 4 Scorpion Wasp, and double Feeding Time. So, we've got a lot of removal on the side of Dectilon here. Oh, and BeardBroken opting not to use Dova and instead just go straight for the Aramots.
Listen and be reborn.
Dectilon smartly holding on to these Rectifiers. Dectilon has a lot of removal. Like, thinking about these Rectifiers, too, there's just a ton of things that Dectilon has to mess up plans. But BeardBroken just keeps getting answers. I've got to imagine you go Dova, Kindling Carver, sacrifice the Kindling Carver, and just start going, right? Oh, deciding to attack first? Yeah, I think that's a pretty good idea.
Listen and be reborn.
Because then it also forces the block. Oh, no play at all from BeardBroken? That I find stunning. I'm surprised by that. Afraid of walking into more removal?
Listen and be reborn.
Well, Dectilon did have more silence effects. Able to silence their 0-1, so they've got more blocks. I'm really surprised by that move. Alright, and here we go. Now we get the sacrifice. Drawing a Seed of Impulse and a Rectifier. Oh, it counts the Rectifier as the one drawn off the Kindling Carver. That's unfortunate for Beard. I thought it would do the other way around. A Distillation for Dectilon. Dectilon's far from out of this. We've seen a bunch of Carvers from BeardBroken. They're just able to keep gas going. Oh no. I said they weren't out, but Nahid's Distillation is a lot of value. Getting an Aramot's Machinations, pulling back a bunch of cards immediately. This is a lot. This is a lot for Dectilon to handle. Even just 3 3s for free. Like, ooh. God, and the silence. Able to silence Dectilon's Rectifier. stop them from silencing in return. BeardBroken's deck just can't be stopped, it feels like. Dectilon's been able to answer every single threat consistently until now. And despite that, BeardBroken just keeps getting more threats. Like, the threats don't stop. This is the problem. Like, Dectilon keeps finding these rectifiers, keeps finding defiles, keeps finding removal. And it's just not enough. They can't stop all of this value that BeardBroken has. Just distillations and carvers and Dova and madness. And it's just constantly Aramot's machinations. Every single card that BeardBroken is playing is demanding multiple answers, and Dectilon is running out.
Listen and be reborn.
So BeardBroken, I like this play, sacrificing the rectifier specifically so they can silence the shade. Funny enough, they do actually draw a rectifier in hand anyways, so a little bit of a useless gesture there to an extent, but still a nice play originally. Drawing a ton more cards again. Able to go back into the market once more with Senway's Smuggler. Opting not to yet, instead just attacking. No Dova coming in. Knowing that Dectilon has the displays in their deck. Because Dectilon does have 4 display of knowledge. And they're pretty obviously holding one now, I would say. Or Cabal Tactic. Okay, I like that. Trading away a Silence 2-1 for the really threatening 4-4 Deadly Overwhelm on BeardBroken's side. Yeah, and another Silence, another Sacrifice effect, a Devour, yet another Sacrifice effect for BeardBroken here. Like, BeardBroken just draws so many cards and so many threats, it's really, really tough to actually do anything. Here's Squigar. The bot apparently just came back, so there we go. We will fix that for you. Those are the updated deck lists. We'll have to see what Dectilon still has in hand. Like I said, it's been surprising how much removal they've had and how much it hasn't actually broken Beard. Yeah, and Dectilon just doesn't have enough anymore and has to throw in the towel. Fair enough, a rough match for Dectilon. It really felt like at the beginning of that match that Dectilon had all the answers, just killing everything, and BeardBroken just kept on top-decking more and more and more threats, and those machinations were just insane. Just an incredible steamroll here from BeardBroken's deck, just doing a lot of very powerful things. Dectilon is not out of the tournament, though. This is a double elimination tournament, so Dectilon will definitely have a chance to come back in. That was a tough game, very well fought by both players, for sure. I like Dectilon's deck. It had a ton of answers, just could not find enough when BeardBroken had all the answers. And let's go ahead and write that in. We have Dectilon losing out to BeardBroken, which means BeardBroken versus Grandmaster's Son for round 2 is now set. We have a couple of losers rounds that can go as well. Fish Spider versus Dectilon, Co-Buddy versus Kinetic Gibbon. And right now, we might be able to do the Grandmaster's Son versus BeardBroken list. We're just waiting to see if they're both available.